9.3, find special products of polynomials. Okay, so these are basically just going to be a special type of foiling, essentially, that you're still welcome to do it as a FOIL if you would like, but you don't necessarily have to do it that way because it's made to be done an easier way. So the first one is the square of a binomial pattern. So if we have something like a plus b and that whole thing is squared, that factors into or multiplies into a squared plus 2ab plus b squared and then we could also do it with subtraction. So a minus b squared would give you a squared minus 2ab minus b squared. So if you see the pattern, you can follow the pattern. The other way you can do it is you can go back to the FOIL method instead. Okay, and you could do a plus b squared is equal to a plus b times a plus b. Okay, and then you could do first, outside, inside, last, and get a squared plus ab plus ab plus b squared, which would give you a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, which is the same as that. So either way works, okay? This is just supposed to be an easier way that you can just follow, okay, essentially this formula that you're given without having to do a lot of extra steps. It's a lot quicker to go from here to here than it is to go from here to here to here. Okay, but again, up to you. I'm not going to say that you have to do it with the special way, but the special way will make it easier for you. Okay. And then the other special type is the sum and difference pattern. So this is something like you have a plus b times a minus b. This multiplies into a squared minus b squared. Okay, and if you want to see why, we can always do again with FOIL. A plus b times a minus b. First, outside, inside, last. So first terms, we would have a squared. Then you have a times negative b, so minus ab. Then b times a, so plus ab. B times negative b is negative b squared. So these ab terms cancel, leaving you with a squared minus b squared. So that's how we get from here to here, okay? And how you could do it with FOIL if you don't recognize that it's a special pattern, okay? All right, so let's look at some examples. All right, so these just say find the product, okay, for all these different types. So number 4, a plus 6 squared. Okay, so that's this first special type up here. This a plus b squared, okay, so it factors into a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So what this is going to look like is we're going to copy down the a squared, okay, since this sign is positive, this second term is going to be positive. And then it's 2 times a times b, so it's going to be 2 times a times 6 plus b squared, so it's going to be 6 squared. And then I'm just going to simplify this into a squared plus 12a plus 36. Okay, so we see how it follows this pattern. Making sense. Not something ridiculously hard to come back to. Okay, good. Trying to start you off on something easy. Got to get mentally back in the game. At least I do. I'm still like in break mode, so.
The only math I did was calculating discount prices on dresses for all of them. Oh, yeah.
that you had a little extra time to get.
And I did end up getting lunch.
All right. Number 6. T minus 7 squared. Okay. So again, it follows the same process. Okay. Also, I think I have the sign written wrong up top. Yeah, this sign, I don't know how in the world. That's supposed to be a plus b squared up here. I'm not sure how I ended up writing negative, but that's supposed to be positive. Just FYI.
James, you brought that middle part.
Alright, so this one is a subtraction one. So it's the second type, this a minus b squared, factoring into a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So a squared is going to be, in this case it's t, so t squared. Because this is a subtraction sign, okay, I put a subtraction here on this term. And then it's 2 times a is t times b is 7. Okay, and the signs don't go with them. It's just the numbers that are in those spots. And then plus b squared. 7 squared, so then that simplifies to t squared minus 2 times 7 is 14, so 14t plus 7 squared is 49. So there's that one. So these two have been pretty nice. There's no number in front of the letter. That's not always going to be the case, so we're going to do one that has a number in front of it, but the process is the same.
Can the number be 1?
Huh?
If the number's 1, then it would be.
Well, yeah, technically the number is 1 in front of these two, but I'm going to give you a number bigger than that. Alright, so it's going to be 6b minus 1 squared. So it's a squared, so this time we're squaring this whole piece. So it's going to be 6b squared. Okay. Then this sign is negative, so this sign is going to be negative. 2 times a is 6b times b is 1 plus b squared is just 1 squared, so I can just write down the 1. So then 6b squared is 6 squared times b squared, so it's 36b squared minus 2 times 6 times 1 is negative, oh, it's negative, 12b plus 1. Okay, so same process, even though it has, okay, a number in front.
I hate how 6 and B are so close.
Yeah, I know, it's kind of weird. I also kind of get irritated when they use A and B when, like, the formula uses A and B, because, like, when they put B in, like, the A spot, it's kind of, like, confusing when I'm saying it, but. Your book likes to use a variety of letters. Well, the Algebra 2 book kind of does too, but, like, the Pre-Cal book pretty much only uses X's when it does this stuff. So it's, like, it'd just be so much easier if they could just use X, but. I don't care if you want to change the letter to be like X all the way across the board so it's not confusing. That's totally fine. Like, I don't care. So
Really, like X for A and
like if you wanted to use like wherever you like, so in this problem I could have written this as 6x minus 1. Like, if you wanted to do that, like, replace whatever variable they give you with x just to make it, like, easier. Like, if that helps you, like, I don't care. That's fine.
There's no need for a T.
Yeah, T is confusing. T, I always put, like, a little curly Q thing on because otherwise it looks like a plus sign.
You use Q on everything.
You would tell me that before. No, you're not.
No,
No, only I can do that.
All right.
Took that so much.
All right, I want you guys to try one. We're going to kind of jump around. I'm going to stick with this type, okay, this square of a binomial type. Okay, so we're going to jump down for a minute. Okay, basically the first two sections of problems, so 3 through 8 and then 11 through 16 tell you specifically which type. So the first one, say the square of a binomial, find the product. The second says sum and difference pattern, find the product. And then the last section just says special products, find the product. So I'm going to jump down and have you guys try one really quick, and then we'll go over it, and then we'll go back up and do the other type. So we are going a little bit out of order, but it's just so we stick with the same types at the moment. So 24 is 6x plus 5 squared. Okay, so I want you guys to try that one following this pattern the way I did it up here. Just for a minute. We'll go over it. All right. Work on this problem, please.
Where do you keep getting 2 from?
Huh?
What?
It's just squared.
The square.
Because it's squared.
Square James.
That's the formula.
Where do you keep getting 2 from?
Okay. Alright.
Thanks, James.
Don't.
Alright. We have an answer.
Yes.
What do we
I'm
get?
gonna tell you because I definitely got it right.
Oh.
366 squared. Well,
366. 36.
You mean 36B?
I mean 36b.
Where did you even get a B from?
Don't tell them, it was funny.
It's not even a B on the
36b
problem.
squared plus 12 plus 2.
It's not even-
I mean x. God.
Yeah.
I mean x.
Alright, anybody else have an answer?
I had like 36. I had 36x plus 60x plus 25.
Alright, does anybody agree with either of them?
I agree with
I got-
Well, I hope you agree with yourself.
I agree with Jay. Probably a little bit just because I got the same thing. So it's gotta be right.
Anybody else?
What did you get?
Alright, so first term squared, so 6x squared plus 2 times the first term times the second term, okay, and then plus the second term squared.
Actually, I agree with Chris now.
What? I
So
got what Chris got.
36x squared
Wait, what?
You're wrong.
plus
That's
60x
squared.
plus 25.
I'm literally swearing.
Wait, so
I got that. Chris, I got that. Four times.
Yeah, we're.
yeah, so
Yeah, Maggie's school too.
You
Maggie
changed
right
it,
answer.
Jake.
no, I didn't.
No, he always agreed.
Yeah, James
No.
always agreed. You're the one who said
No,
366.
That was an accident.
Alright, I'm gonna do one more that has 2 letters in it just so that you see it. Okay, in case it comes up. 32 negative x minus 2y squared. Okay, so I talked about when you have the sign in front of it, the sign doesn't necessarily go with it. When it's in the front, it does, okay, because it will mess things up if you don't. So, first term squared, so it's going to be negative x, okay, and the parentheses is important because remember that affects that negative sign when it's inside and being squared. Okay, this is negative, so we're going to put the negative sign here. 2 times the first term, well, the first term is negative x. Then times the second term is 2y plus the second term squared, so 2y squared. So negative x squared, the negative is going to become positive because negative times negative, so that's just going to be x squared. Then in the middle here, I have a negative 2 and a negative x being multiplied, so that's going to become positive. Okay, it's 2 times 2, so 4 times x times y. Okay, that's what happens when there's 2 variables. And then the last term is 2y squared, so that's 2 squared times y squared, so that's plus 4y squared. Okay? So how do we feel about this type?
I don't like
I don't like
negative
it.
signs. I think I'm good. I just don't favor negatives.
Alright, I'm going to give you one more to try on your own, and then we'll go back and do the other. We might save the other type for tomorrow.
Yeah, let's do
That
that,
would
please.
be-
I'm going to assign you problems of this type to do, but
Yay.
we'll save the other type for tomorrow, okay? So 18, same instructions, okay? So 5n minus 3 squared. Okay, so do that one on your own, and then we'll go over it, and then I'll assign some problems for you. All right, what did we get for that one?
Some not
5
right.
n minus 30 n squared plus 3 squared.
I got negative 5n plus 9.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, negative. Just negative 1, I think.
What did you get?
Not that.
What'd you get?
I don't think that's right. I got 25n squared minus 15n plus 9. I don't
You get 25.
Anybody else have anything different?
Oh wait, I forgot to do that one thing.
That one thing.
Yeah,
Let's
I
break
got
the squares.
Probably.
All right, so first term squared, so that's going to be 5n squared. This is a negative sign, so minus 2 times the first term times the second term. So 5n times 3 plus the last term squared, 3 squared. So that's going to give us 5 squared is 25, and then n squared minus 2 times 5 is 10 times 3 is 30.
Oh, I didn't do that.
N, and then plus 3 squared is 9. Okay, and just for reference, this was a multiple choice problem, so the answer was D, just in case you go to look back and you're looking at number 18. But yeah, anyways.
I did the 5 and the 3. I don't know why. I forgot to do it.
I just made the 3 a negative.
I multiplied the 5 and the 3, and I didn't multiply it by the 2.
All right, so I'm going to give you a few problems that you need to work on for the rest of class. And then tomorrow we'll actually do examples of the other special type. I think that's kind of the best way to do this. 3, 5, 7.
I'll take a white chocolate
Not
milk.
for you.
23.
Because there's a-
Me too.
Okay. Well, she gave me one stuff, so he gave me another one.
27
You gave your strawberries before.
No, I wanted the thing.
and 31. Okay, so you need to work on these 6 problems. Okay, you have 20 minutes left. You should be able to knock these out.
James, what's the dragon fruit right here?
What's the page?
It is page 572.
James, do you want a dragon fruit?
Yes.